down south to the land of the pines. I'm thumbing my way to North Carolina, staring up the road and pray to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm hoping for Raleigh I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me.
All right, folks, we're live right here in Blue Studios. Got election night. Big night here tonight in Cleveland, Tennessee, and Bradley County, with the election results hopefully going to be coming in. Anyway, we have the Backfire group down here tonight doing this election returns for you, and we've got Franklin Chansey, our Democrat, in the studio. How are you, Franklin?
I'm doing great.
And John Stanberry, our Republican, in the studio. How are you, John?
I'm fine, Steve.
And then you've got me, the moderator, Steve Doball Hicks.
I've never actually talked on the radio when I was awake. So,
I was awake.
You do it in the morning.
Well, that may explain your arguments then.
Anyway, we've got a big election coming up. They're going to close the voting precincts at 8 o'clock, folks. If you haven't voted, do the American thing. Get up off the couch and go out and vote.
You still got plenty of time.
Still got plenty of time. All you need is a voter ID, and it's real simple. We have 17 places to vote, I think.
But you got to go to the right one
So
today.
you've got to go to the right one today to vote and have a photo ID or something. Is that okay, Franklin?
It's okay with me. Yeah.
There's 17 places to vote and enough places to vote.
You got to go to the precinct you live in since you didn't do early voting.
Right.
So,
Okay. Is that okay?
well,
I mean, the Democrats keep telling us that we're trying to do things to sway the election.
well, that's because Republicans keep admitting it.
No, we're not.
Yeah, they have.
We're not doing anything to sway. We have a call. Let's take it.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, caller. You're live on Whoop.
Well, three of my favorite guys in there. How you doing, guys?
Hey, good.
Hey, we're fine.
Good. Have you placed your vote yet?
Yeah.
All right. You got any upsets for us?
Well, I just got a couple predictions.
All right. Let's hear
Okay.
it.
I think Eric Watson is going to come out,
Okay. Got Eric Watson. There's one for Eric.
and Charlotte B. Jones,
Charlotte.
and Ben Lewis, Ed Lewis.
And Ed Lewis. Okay.
Yeah, and I thought Mark's supposed to be there with us this evening.
Well, Mark had an issue that came up in his family, and he couldn't make it tonight. So
That's all right.
everybody wish Mark the best, and we're going to try to get through this. I've never done one of these type of shows, so this is new for me. I might learn something.
Hey, it ain't new for you guys. Young's are good as a Wednesday morning. You know who this is, don't you?
Now, who is this?
Bullet.
I'm sorry. What's his name?
Bullet.
Bovic. All right, Bovic.
But
Bullet.
Bullet. Okay, Bovic.
I call in on your show sometimes on Wednesday mornings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
John Franklin, he knows me.
You're always pretty even with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you take both sides sometimes, or split the middle at least.
But John Stansbury knows me of the taking care of the graveyards.
Right. We still haven't really gotten anywhere on getting all those monuments reset, and I need to get the ball on that better.
John, we got a couple of boys up there now that's trying to do that by hand. I told them, I said, well, you don't need to strain your back now, boys. They've been up there working a little bit up there.
Yeah, we had a couple of high school students who took it on as a project up there without anybody asking them to do it, just because they felt like it's something they owed their country. So
Well, those are some decent boys.
they sure were.
Yeah, they are. They're 16 years old. At least they are trying to do that. And then I told them, now you better be careful. Anyway, guys, I'm just, like I say, you're the three of my favorites, so I'm going to listen to you. I hope the returns come out tonight the way people want. But if they don't, we just have to get by with it.
All right. Well, thanks for the compliments, and I appreciate you, Bullet.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, thanks.
Of course, the hard thing here is no matter what comes out on the results, it'll be the way some people want it, and it will be the way some people don't want it. That's what's tough about elections.
Yeah, that's democracy's messy that way sometimes.
Everybody wins. Now then, that's my understanding. I think we have 5 Democrats running.
We don't have any contested Democratic races in this particular primary. We will in the August primary when it comes up.
We're getting another call. Let's go ahead and take it. Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Hello, Dobo.
Hey, is this Ella?
Yeah.
Ella Bella, how are you, Ella? Did you vote today?
No, and I'll tell you why I didn't.
Well, did you early vote then?
No,
Then you don't have any excuses.
but I do have an excuse.
Don't tell me you don't have a picture ID.
No.
What is it?
Every time I go to vote, the people I want to vote for are not on that list. And I don't know where to go to vote with people I want to vote for.
The people that you want to vote for are not on the list, and you don't know where to go to vote for the people on the list that you want to make?
Yeah.
You're going to have to rethink this a little bit, Ella. You're going to have to vote for the people on the list.
No, I don't want to vote for. I like to vote for Jeff Yarber and Tom Rowland and all my friends.
Oh.
Well, Jeff was on the ballot
So
today.
might not be in your district, though, huh?
But it may not be in my district. Yeah.
I see.
So that ain't helping me now. And I ain't gonna vote if I can't vote for somebody else.
Well, what you need to do is just go get a ballot and vote for as many as you think you need to on that ballot.
No, I ain't gonna do that.
All right, Miss Ella. Good talking to you, darling. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, Ella, she's calling in. I hadn't talked to Ella in a long time. Anyway, Eric Watson and Charlotte Peak Jones and Ed Lewis got their first votes just called in.
If somebody-
got any more votes you want to cast?
If
call
somebody
us.
calls in and all their predictions are right, do they get a prize of some sort?
You know, we should do that, but I don't know if we have time to take everybody's-
a free simple will and a free cleaning.
What we should have done is put the sample ballot on our website and let everybody vote on it, and then gave the winners.
That's true.
Date with the Backfire boys.
Dinner date
Dinner
with
day with
the
Backfire
group.
Boys.
I'm sure that'll go well. hey, I've got something. At this last forum that we did up there, I was putting together the closing remarks, and I looked something up. Our voting turnout's actually not terrible, but relatively, let's just say, mediocre. It's not going to be the lowest, but it's certainly not going to be the highest. It's probably going to be lower than it was 4 years ago.
Well, early voting was up some.
Yeah, but what's happening in Bradley County is the percentage of people that are early voting is skewing up.
Mm-hmm.
So unless the turnout is big today during election day, the total vote will probably be a little bit low.
The reports this afternoon are that the turnout has been very light. thus far.
So even though early voting was higher, the total vote probably will be lower. It's just more people are choosing to early vote. But what I was getting at is Iraq just had a vote right at the end of March. They voted over 60%. Now that's 60% of their population. We're not even voting 60% of our registered voters here. One gentleman was wheeled into the voting precinct in a wheelchair. He's paralyzed from a terrorist bomb. They rolled him into the precinct, and as he rolled in, he said, "This is the day that I get my revenge on the terrorist by voting for a better Iraq." Now, if a guy who's paralyzed from a terrorist bomb, and there were threats of snipers, there were threats of bombings, if Iraq can vote 60%, we really ought to be ashamed of ourselves in the freest democracy in the world.
Well, especially with everything we've done to try to make it easy to vote. Right, Franklin?
Well, we did that for a long time. that might be changing somewhat, but John's point's still a valid one. We don't have nearly enough participation in our democracy, irrespective of your ideological or party viewpoint, and we could probably all benefit from a lot more participation. So,
what do you think it is with people not going to vote these days and times? I mean, with early voting, everything there is, it's pretty simple to vote these days.
I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who have concluded in their minds that their vote really doesn't count somehow, and that it doesn't really affect the process. And I don't think that's true, but I can understand that there's a lot of frustration, particularly nationally, I think, that sort of bleeds over into our local races sometimes, the view that one person's vote doesn't matter. But it really does.
Well, personally, I think that's the liberal, I'm a victim explanation. I'll give you what I consider the harsher, more
They just don't
realistic
care?
vision. I think they're spoiled. I think the vast majority of the American people don't think anything bad's ever going to happen. I hate to say this, but it's been too long since we had a depression or a world war, and I'm not saying I want that, but what I mean is those kind of galvanizing events made the community understand that this could all be lost, that this democracy is fragile. And I think they think, I don't really care. I mean, think about it. I think U.S. News and World Report did a survey this past winter, and only like 17% of the people could name one of the Supreme Court justices, but 83% of them could name all of the American Idol judges. That tells you where they're focused. They're focused on, hey, I'm having a good time, life's okay, nothing bad's going to happen. And so I personally think it's irresponsibility.
Well, anyway, today it's so easy to vote. But
that's the point. It doesn't matter how easy you make it. They don't care. They don't think it's real. Now, Franklin's right. There are people that are frustrated and they're put out, but the vast majority of them just don't think it's really that important.
Do you think the next presidential election will be beefed up in?
Every presidential election has been declining for what, Franklin, the last 25 years?
Well, we have more people who vote in the election, but from a percentage standpoint, it has not been that great.
Our population is increasing, so the total number goes up, but the percentage of people.
Every election for the last 25 years, more people have voted in the election in terms of raw numbers, but the percentage has been down.
Well, we had those 1,261 ballots cast more, I think, this year in early voting than last election. So,
but I will tell you, if you're looking at these district-wide races, the upper end of the district, McMinn, Monroe, those counties have been down. Polk County's been down. So overall, the district races may see an even larger decrease than Bradley County.
And it's really unusual. I mean, I say that Polk County's got a pretty hotly contested
Democratic
couple of races,
sheriff's
race and General Sessions Court race. But McMinn County sheriff's race has not proved to be as competitive as they thought it was going to be. Some people say the same thing about Monroe County, so that didn't especially surprise me. But you would think in Bradley County that wouldn't be the case because we have a lot of
hot races,
contested races involving local folks here.
Now, the August general and state primary elections, they even get slower, don't they?
I think it will be slower this year.
You lose a lot. Well, a couple of things happen. You lose the local direct connection interest. But then, too, anytime you have this, I've always argued, you'll have people go, well, why do you vote straight? Why are you such a Republican, or why is Franklin such a Democrat? If you elect a Republican sheriff in a county, you will see in the fall election higher turnout, higher vote totals for the Republican governor's candidate, the Republican congressional candidate, the Republican Senate. Same way with Democrats. If the Democrats take a major county office, it helps the Democrat candidates in the future election. That's why I'm a party person, because a Republican sheriff helps favor a Republican presidential candidate. Now, some people don't think that's the right way to do it, and that's neither here nor there, but you will see all of these people that lose, their people lose interest. And so in August and in November, they're not as motivated to turn out.
All right, we're going to be here until this election's over with tonight. The results are going to come in at 8 o'clock. The polls close at 8 o'clock. And the results should come in right at 8 o'clock. We're going to get our early voting votes in.
We should get those pretty quickly.
Those will come at 8. The rest of them are going to trail in because the machines have to be packed up and brought in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So your closer precincts will come in early, and some of your, although that's been surprising, some of the Taylor at times has been one of the first ones to report because they pack up and get out of there quick.
Right. Well, anyway, we hope to get some things going. Also, we want to invite any of the candidates to come by. We've got the studio open tonight. We're going to be inviting candidates to stop by and visit with us. We'll talk a little bit about the election. It's still not too late, candidates. If you're out there moving around the streets, come by and say hi to everybody. We'd love to have you. 614-5553 is our phone lines here if you want to ask any questions or do anything. But I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Backfire with Steve Hickson. We'll be right back after this.
A veteran of the United States Air Force, Charles Dunson is seeking political office to be a helpmate to the Bradley County Sheriff's Office and the legal community. If elected as constable, he is committed to protecting the welfare of his constituents and provide a voice for the less fortunate and homebound. In addition to serving documents for the legal and law enforcement communities, Mr. Dunson's goal as constable is to be a visible and vocal advocate for those who are bound to their homes because of their age or physical condition. Dunson promises the residents of the 6th District to represent them with integrity, honesty, and compassion. Charles Dunson encourages all voters of the 6th District to contact him with questions or issues about the constable's office or race. He can be reached at 715-7253. Remember to support Charles Dunson, 6th District Constable, in early voting and the May 6th election. Paid for by candidate Charles Dunson.
Hi, this is Mark Grissom from the Mark in the Morning radio show right here on Whoop Radio. I'm here to tell you about my friend Ed Lewis. Ed asked for your vote and support for Bradley County Road Superintendent. Ed is known by most people as the Road Man. With his 27 years experience in construction, building bridges and roads, he is well qualified. Ed Lewis has served 12 years as road superintendent and 4 years as safety director of Bradley County. Ed was elected and served as president of the County Highway Officials Association of Tennessee. Ed has 16 years experience preparing budgets, and he will use this knowledge and experience to save your tax dollars. Knowledge and experience looking to the future. Vote Ed Lewis, Bradley County Road Superintendent. Paid for by the candidate.
I'm Barrett Painter, and I'm a candidate for General Sessions Judge Division II of Bradley County. I am asking for your vote in the May 6th Republican primary. In my 22 years of practicing law, I have served as city prosecutor, county attorney for Bradley and Meigs County, and currently I am in private practice at Chancey, Canavas, Love, and Painter. My commitment is to maintain the highest level of honesty, integrity, and fairness in the courtroom, and I will apply these principles with every citizen that appears before me, giving them my full attention and their fair day in court. I also commit to work together with Judge Swafford to make Sessions Court more efficient. My parents, Harlan and Lynette Painter, taught me the principles of honesty, integrity, and fairness, which have guided me in my family and professional relationships. Those principles will remain my guide as your Sessions Judge. I humbly ask for your vote in the May 6th Republican primary. Vote Barrett Painter.
For complete information about Barrett Painter, visit the website at votebarrettpainter.com. Paid for by the Committee to elect Barrett Painter.
As candidate for criminal court judge, I am seeking your vote on May 6th in the Republican primary.